Hey Israel, how's it going? It's your girl Shamar. Guys, I've been up for about the last, I don't know, I think I got up about 4 something, so you look in the top hand corner, I've been up for about 6 hours. And I don't know, guys, I feel like I got, call it writer's block or something, guys. I mean, I have a ton of episodes here, but I'm gonna be honest, when I got sick last week, guys, it kind of threw off my schedule. So, of course, I'm having to work more hours, guys, to make up the time that I lost, being sick. So, this week, I want to try to keep it simple, guys. Um, Given that I haven't put a lot of time into doing more research for our new series, which I told you guys is going to be called The Game of Thrones. Why are we calling it The Game of Thrones? Because they essentially been playing a game with you. They came over here, took the money, like I told y'all, the money from the oil that they have. It's been very lucrative for them. You know what I'm saying? I told you that the UTs have a higher credit rating than Wells Fargo. So why would they stop? They're not going to stop until it's all gone, until they can get every dollar they can get for it. All right? And we know mama ain't going to have that. So they can try all they want, right? In the background, guys, you're going to see ancient oil lamps. All right, guys. So I thought about it today. I just want to show you guys real quick that Assyria was definitely here. All right. They came for the oil, as I've been saying. All right. Because in the background, you're going to see what's called an oil lamp. Don't JC talk about some oil lamps, guys, that were empty? 5 were full. The other 5 were empty. Fools that wouldn't put oil in their oil lamp. Yeah. So we know they've been talking about these oil lamps for a minute. But did you know that there was a mound shaped like an oil lamp in Ohio? That it was a mound that was shaped like an oil lamp and a menorah all in one, right, guys? Let me show y'all real quick what that looks like. Right here. Let me show you guys what we're talking about. I ain't going to take up much of your time today because I myself don't have much either, but check this out. The mound is shaped at the bottom here. You'll see that it looks like an upside down menorah, right? The only thing is that the temple menorah actually had 7 branches. It was not the 9 branch, all right? So this is a 9 branch. Not sure what the significance is with that, but I got to do more digging, guys. But this was in Ohio. All right, guys, they used to call this group of indigenous people the mound builders. It says here, and they're calling it Hanokia Earthworks. All right, Hopewell culture built from circa 100 BCE, located on the east fork of the Little Miami River in Ohio. All right. Says here, let's go down here. The original survey, the scale of the drawing has been disputed. The real existence of this site has been challenged by archaeological communities for the last century. A possible site shown in the model was located on Google Earth by the author. The earthworks were probably used for ceremonial purposes on auspicious days and not for defense. So for some sort of ceremony, it says they were using this location. This guy has done a good job by going on to Google Maps to kind of outline where it would have been and what it looked like. But you think that's there still? I mean, it could be underground, right? But it's not there still. I'm going to show you guys why. All right. Hold on. Let me go back to this right here. What the Bible says about oil as a metaphor, right? The Hebrew word, and I like this because when I first started showing you guys the Genesis 49 verse concerning Joseph, and how it said that Joseph was a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, right? So it places Joseph by the wells, right, guys? Here's what this thing is going to tell you. All right, the Hebrew word translates as oil, all right? Shemen. It literally means fat or grease, but figuratively, it means richness. An important idea to keep in mind, the word is also translates to fruitful. What does Shamar tell y'all? What does Shamar tell y'all? The reason why we're going to look at this oil lamp is to do two things: to prove to you guys that yes, it was about the oil, and to two, prove to you guys that Assyria was here too as well, because these lamps are called Assyrian oil lamps. And yet, what do we have on the side over there? A depiction of what looks like an Assyrian oil lamp, but underground. Hence, the oil symbolizes wealth, abundance, health, energy, and a vital ingredient for good life. It says here, apparently, oil's primary use was for food. Olive oil, a high quality fat. Well, that's what it was supposed to have been, right? For food, like the Creator told us. And then they're going to also reference in here the parable of the 10 virgins, right, guys? So, good stuff. I mean, we got a couple of verses here that are specific to oil that you guys can check out on your own. But Shamar just proving a point. We just reaffirming our position here on the front line that these wells were not for water. All right. It had nothing to do with water. Check this out. So I showed y'all the picture of the earthworks, right? Check this out. In search of the lost menorah of Ohio. The ancient earthworks depicted above. They don't have the picture in here. That's why I showed y'all the picture the other guy did with Google Earth, right, guys? I'm going to tell y'all why they don't have the picture in here. Let's keep reading to find out why. The ancient earthworks depicted above once lay along waters of the east fork of the Little Miami River in Ohio. Okay. Let's go down here. Ohio had dozens of such large-scale earthworks attributed to the Hopewell culture of circa 100 BC to 500 AD. However, most of them incorporated relatively similar geometrical structures, primarily circles, squares, octagons, extended parallel walls. The East Fork works are unusual for their complexity. For unknown reasons, it ain't unknown, you'll see what I'm talking about. For unknown reasons, the Army Corps of Engineers plowed over these ancient earthworks. We have speculated about the reasons why. Was it because they wanted the land for power? Yeah. Or money? Yeah. Was it just the government hiding this information? Could it be they wanted to get rid of any proof of an ancient Hebrew people who lived in the area? All we know is that it's important to find this ancient earthwork and further research it. All right. So they plowed over it. They wanted to wipe away any evidence of Israel having been here. Yet this thing is shaped like a menorah. This thing is shaped like a menorah right here at the bottom. And at the top, if you break this thing in half, that's an oil lamp at the top, guys. It would be too obvious. This is why they wanted to plow this thing out of existence. Because you would clearly see what looks like an Assyrian oil lamp right there on the top, guys. And then on the bottom, this looks like the menorah, just upside down. Okay? It would be so obvious. They plowed it out of existence. Check this out. Thomas Jefferson knew about it. Thomas Jefferson and the Hopewell Mounds. I'm not going to read this guy's stuff down here. This is just about his little work. Hold on. We got to get to right here. Thomas Jefferson and the Native Americans. Thomas Jefferson believed Native American peoples to be a noble race who were in body and mind equal to the white man, and were endowed with an innate moral sense and an Indian setting marked capacity for reasoning. Jefferson never removed any Native Americans. However, in private letters, he did suggest various ideas for removing the tribes from enclaves in the east to their own new lands in the west of the Mississippi. Now, that's a funny word to say right there, that enclave, because didn't we read that Reuben was in an enclave with Judah? So it's funny that they would use that enclave word, huh? Let's keep going to new lands in the Mississippi. Right, so this is where we get the tribes flip. Long after he died, right here. Before and during his presidency, Jefferson discussed the need for respect, brotherhood, and trade with the Native Americans. He initially believed that causing them to adopt European-style agriculture and modes of living would allow them to quickly progress from savagery to civilization. Beginning in 1803, Jefferson's private letters show increasing support for the idea of removal. Jefferson maintained that the Indians had land to spare, and he thought would willingly exchange it for guaranteed supplies of food and equipment. Now, why would we need your shit? Why would they need anything from Jefferson, who believed they had land to spare, right? What were you giving them? The rum, the fire water? Let's keep going. Jefferson's view of the Aboriginal people. Jefferson was fascinated with Indian cultures and languages. His home at Monticello was filled with Indian artifacts obtained from the Lewis and Clark expedition. He collected information on the vocabulary and grammar of Indian languages. In Jefferson's day, the theory of environmentalism, which maintained that native people of America were inferior to Europeans due to climate and geography, was generally accepted. Jefferson refuted these notions in his book, Notes of the State of Virginia, where he defended American Indians and their culture. Now look, he got the picture here too. Look, the oil lamp and the menorah. There go the oil lamp, guys, right there. And there goes your menorah, right there. In 1803, the United States Congress asserted that the Constitution did not contain provisions for acquiring new territory. President Jefferson declared that his presidential powers were sufficient to negotiate treaties for the purchase of the land from foreign countries. All right, so the land that he was trying to acquire, other nations had already came in and taken it over, right, guys? And this is why I keep telling y'all about that Game of Thrones, because you're going to see France mentioned here next. So we already got Spain, right? We already got France, and we got the English folk here. This is your Game of Thrones. This is where they took the money. Pay attention. I'm going to have fun proving this. I just need a little more time. All right. So in 1803, he negotiated and signed the largest land purchase in the history of the world. President Jefferson brought from France 827,000 square miles of land for $15 million in gold. The same year, President Jefferson was impressed when he saw General Williams' maps, right, which had those works of antiquity on the East Fork in Clermont County, Ohio. They were obsessed with this little bit of area too. Because see, you got to understand, the UTs done already divvied up, Colorado. So this is just a land grab, guys. This is what's going on. They're land grabbing for the resources, because all of these areas contain major resources. All right. They're not running off to Tennessee. They're in this area where these hills are at. because under these hills are the fruitfulness. I done told y'all the Colorado Rockies are just oil deposits, guys. Yeah, it looks like a mountain to us, but it's a big mountain oil deposit. Okay, so he's bought all of this land. Now he's finding out about some works of antiquity, right? He requested, right here, more information about these works. This was the first historical reference about earthworks, which President Jefferson recognized were designed in the likeness of a Jewish menorah. Now, it's funny that they would use this word, earthworks, because when you look up the altar, guys, an altar was originally made of earth, all right? It was supposed to be made of earth, all right? Not that altar that we run and get married at now, Israel, all right? It wasn't the same. So I'm feeling like these references to earthworks are references to the altars here. But let's keep going. When President Jefferson, so yeah, he's noticed that these, the design was in the likeness of a menorah. The ancient feature of these works were surveyed in the early 19th century. But by the late 19th century, these same works were lost and buried under row crops, streets, and houses in Ohio. These works have since become known as the lost earthworks, along with the lost tribes, right? There exists today a technology which makes it possible to rediscover the exact location of these earthworks. All right, guys, so there were several different shaped ones, but this one gets my attention the most because it definitely looks like an oil lamp. And it definitely looks like a menorah at the bottom. But it even kind of almost looks like a bird a little bit too, guys. So, interesting. First, let's outline what we know from the National Archives. Figure 1 is a portion of a map drawn in 1823. It's attributed to Isaac Roberdeau, the head of the Bureau of Topographical Engineers, all right? The complete original map is still preserved in the Cartographic and Architectural Branch of the Military Archives Division of the U.S. National Archives in Alexandria, Virginia. Record Group 77, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Fortification. Drawer 144, sheet number 20. They're going to try to bury this thing in there, okay? But with all of this stuff right here, we should be able to find it, right? The map consists of 2 sheets of identical paper glued together. So it's not entirely clear whether the scale pertains only to the Milford Works on the left panel, right? But it includes the East Fork Works on the right panel. A less detailed survey of the same works depicted by the Roberdeau map, right, was made in 1803 by General William Little of Cincinnati. All right, and was published in 1811 in the book, Observations on the Climate in Different Parts of America. Now, when they did a lot of these observation books, guys, this is where they hit a lot about the resources, okay? They would send out companies to go. Lois and Clark was just go see over there what we can grab. That's all that was. It was an expedition to see what resources were in the area that they could use, that they could grab. All right, let's keep going. Sometime during the last century of the 19th century, farmers, what did I tell y'all, guys? That they brought in people to farm the land after the fact, right, guys? I done told y'all. Oh, Leo, sorry, my cat's running up on my buddies. He got up real aggressive, too. We're going to have peace in this house, Leonidas. Better go sit down and leave my bunnies alone. All right, what did I tell you guys? That when they divvied up all of the resources, they brought in new people, right? That was an Assyrian tactic to bring in people that were not from the land, guys. And these people look like they claimed that they came over as slaves. All right, guys? These are the people that do not have the same complexion as us. They kept saying, we came over as slaves. Did they make these people plow over this to get rid of the evidence? It's kind of looking like it, guys. Let's keep going. Sometime during the last half of the 19th century, farmers plowed over the East Fork Works and planted rows of crops. All right. So that since the late 19th century, the features of the menorah have not been noticeable. Perhaps the mid 19th century, some wanted to destroy the large earthworks to disassociate any link. Right? This is an important verse right here, guys. This is what we came for. All right. They wanted to disassociate any link to the idea that in ancient times Hebrews were in North America by making the menorah, earthworks unknown the European settlers, diminish the cultural heritage of the native people of America. This was to hide the fact that these people were Hebrews, guys. If it had gotten out that these natives were Hebrews, maybe people would have thought twice about coming here. They would have said, "Oh man, this is the Creator's people. Like we better not mess with them. There's going to be some consequences." But guys, it's been plowed over, and crops were planted, so it's no longer there. But apparently, this guy right here was able to see an outline of it. Sorry, wrong one I opened up, guys. An outline of it still through Google Maps. So, guys, I'm just catching you guys up to speed about some things that definitely solidify our place here in the Americas. All right, guys. So one of our shorter episodes, but I just wanted to let y'all know that was there, and it's looking very much. See this right here, guys? This, let me make that a little smaller, is an oil lamp. Right, guys? It looks a lot like, watch this. It looks a lot like these in the background. My background picture. You see it, guys? It looks a lot like those. We were here. Don't let them tell you no different. Much love to you guys from the front line. Next week, a few announcements. No, and a few thank yous, guys. Thank you to all my new subscribers, guys. Everybody pulling up here on Shabbat to see what we got going over here on the front line. Much love to you guys. I've been getting a lot of conversation, guys. A lot of people are finding me. And it's really funny because I know that I whisper amongst the dust. So I know that my channel is not for a whole lot of people. But I got a message this week from, we got viewers in the Bahamas, guys. KG is in Canada. Shout out to KG. Shout out to Mimi. Shout out to Limelight. Shout out to Raz Louie. Like, all of these people are reaching out to me, and they're like, yo, Shamar, you're really showing some stuff, and I'm confirming this. And so, listen, it's not going to be a big crew of us. It's a small, tight crew. And I'm happy for that small, tight crew. Shout out to Zion Spencer, too, guys. We are talking about doing a retreat on the land, an annual retreat, a wellness recovery retreat, guys, where we work to eradicate parasites within our bodies, guys, and eat clean. Like Dr. Sebi clean, okay? So I have Zion, who is willing and offering to support the tribe with that, guys. And I'm leaning more towards the end of the summer, possibly about September or October, and trying to get something together to present to you guys where we'll provide the herbs, we'll provide the clean food, and maybe everyone will bring a tent, or if you got an RV, I'll put out the information. But this young guy just reached out to me and said, listen, I can heal you, when he heard that I was sick. And we need that in Israel right now, guys. That's not my forte. My forte is opening this book and apparently holding on to the land to be able to facilitate this for us, guys. So I want to hear more buzz about this. If you guys are interested, drop me a link in some of the comments. Let me know, like, hey, this interests me. I wanna go to a wellness retreat. I wanna get better. Like, and you gotta understand, I'm not gonna be charging anybody to come to the land. All right, guys, that's not what we're doing. We're going to put together a package that specifically supplies the herbs and the clean food that we need, guys, to be able to eradicate ourselves of a lot of the sickness that we have going on. All right, guys. So I hope that interests you guys. If so, let me know. And much, much love to you guys from the Frontline, guys. I've been having people from all over reach out, and it just feels really good to know that, you know, people are hearing this, and it's jiving with you guys. It'll only jive with you if Mother has sent you. All right. So may Mother keep you, and I will see you guys on next Shabbat. It was a short lesson, and it's a little off kilter of what we've been talking about. But I've been wanting to show you guys the something like this to validate we're the people and this is the place. All right. Much love to you guys from the Frontline. I'll see you next week. And next week, I'm planning on getting into Levi. All right. Because Levi created quite a mess. Levi's not supposed to have a portion. But I'm going to prove to you guys, Levi got one hell of a portion. One hell of a portion. So we're going to have to talk about Levi. We'll keep the family feud going. But we're going to be getting into the Game of Thrones real soon too, guys. To show you guys how they set these kingdoms up in these other nations. All right. Much love to you guys. I'll see y'all next week. Take care.